Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, classmates. We are the group 1, and our topic for today is all about the Act of Declaration of Philippine Independence by Ambrosio Rianzares Bautista. Topic outline: background of the author, which I will tackle; history background of the Act of Declaration of the Philippine Independence, which tackled by Miss Donaville Amba; description of the symbol of the Philippine flag, which tackled also by Miss Edmay Batulan; and lastly, the contribution and relevance, which tackled by Miss Jo Marie Balaba. Before we get to the reason for the Philippine independence, let us get to know the author's background. Ambrosio Rianzares Bautista, also known as Don Bosyong, was born on December 7, 1830 in Binian, Laguna, to Gregorio Enriquez Bautista and Silvestra Altamira, and also he is distant relative to the Rizal family. He attended preparatory school in Binian and studied law at the University of Santo Tomas, or UST, obtaining a degree in 1865. He then practices law in Manila and offered free legal services to poor clients. Also, Ambrosio Bautista often gave advices to Sir Rizal. While practicing law, Ambrosio Bautista, on his way to Malolos, Bulacan, he was captured by a group of bandits or tulisan, who subsequently learned that he had saved many of their friends as a defender of the poor in court cases against rich Filipino and Spaniards. The bandits apologized to Bautista and set him free. He was one of the officers of La Liga Filipina, founded by Dr. Jose Rizal. La Liga was built a new group that sought to involve the people directly in the reform movement. Also, Ambrosio Bautista wrote articles of La Independencia. Ambrosio Bautista was arrested and jailed at the outbreak of the revolution. Advisor of Emilio Aguinaldo, and was appointed Auditor General de Guerra. He was the one authored the Act of Declaration of Philippine Independence. Bautista was lawyer and general of Emilio Aguinaldo's confidante. In June 1898, he read the Declaration of Philippine Independence proclamation by General Aguinaldo in Kawit, Cavite. So, Act of American Declaration of Independence, signed by the 98 gentlemen. Ambrosio Bautista patterned the Act of the American Declaration of Independence, which was signed by 98 gentlemen. Among them, an American Army officer witnessed the proclamation. He became the second president of the Malolos Congress. After the Filipino-American War, he was appointed judge of the Court of First Instance of Pangasinan. Ambrosio Bautista also served as Solicitor General of Revolutionary Government, and he died on December 4, 1903 at the age of 72. He died of a fatal fall from horse-drawn carriage.
The history background of Act of Declaration of the Philippine Independence. The Philippine Declaration of Independence. So, the Philippine Declaration of Independence, Spanish Acta de la Proclamation de Independencia de Pueblo Filipino, an act of proclamation of independence of Filipino people, was written by Ambrosio R. Bautista, a war counselor and special delegate designated of Revolutionary Philippine government. It was read by Bautista during the proclamation of Philippine independence on June 12, 1898. The event took place between 4 and 5 in the afternoon at the central home of Aguinaldo in Kawit, Cavite. which featured the unfurling of the first Philippine flag, soon in Hong Kong by Marcela Agoncillo, Lorenzina Agoncillo, and Delfina Herbosa, and the playing of the Macarcha Filipina Magdalo, composed by Prof. Julian Felipe, by the San Francisco de Malabon Marching Band. This would be eventually become the Philippine national anthem, the Lupang Hinirang, lyrics composed by Prof. Jose I. Palma. Emilio Aguinaldo, leader of the Philippine Revolutionary Forces, was exiled in Hong Kong after the signing the Pact of Biak na Bato with Spain in December 1897. Because of the outbreak of Spanish and American War in December 1897, the Asiatic Squadron of U.S. Navy, under the command of Commodore George Dewey, aboard the USS Olympia, sailed into Manila Bay and defeated the Spanish Navy in Battle of Manila Bay. Aguinaldo returned home aboard the USS Macalo in May 1898. The document declares the independence of Filipino people from Spain. It lays down the abuses of the Spanish colonial regime starting from the time of arrival of Ferdinand Magellan in 1531. Unfortunately, the declaration was recognized by neither the United States of Spain because Spain had ceded the Philippines to United States through the Treaty of Paris. The Philippines would be a colony of United States and of Japan was eventually granted independence on July 4, 1946. Content and analysis accordingly. Generally, Aguinaldo thought that it was necessary to declare the independence of Philippines to inspire the people to fight more eagerly against Spaniards. The Declaration of Independence would also lead foreign countries to recognize the independence of the country. It was resolved unanimously that this nation, already free, independent as of this day, must use the same flag which up to now is being used, whose design and color are found described in attached drawing. The Declaration is now housed in the National Library of the Philippines. It is not on public display, but it can be seen upon request. During the Philippine-American War, about 400,000 documents were signed and sent to the U.S. They were returned in 1958. Sometimes in the 1980s or the 1990s, the Declaration was stolen from National Library, but was returned by a professor from the University of the Philippines in 1994.
Description of the symbols of the Philippine flag. White flag, distinctive emblem of the famous Society of the Katipunan. Katipunan is an organization led by Andres Bonifacio. The three stars symbolizes the principal islands of this Philippine archipelago, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, or commonly known as Los Viminda. The sun, gigantic step made by the sun of the country along the path of progress and civilization. The 8 rays represent the 8 provinces: Manila, Cavite, Bulacan, Pampanga, Nueva Ecija, Bataan, Laguna, and Batangas. These first 8 provinces that the colonizers have put under martial law. The colors blue, red, and white commemorating the flag of United States of America as manifestation of our profound gratitude towards this great nation for its disinterested protection which it lent us and continues lending us. The blue color also symbolizes peace, truth, and justice. Red symbolizes patriotism and valor. The following are the 98 gentlemen: Don Segundo Arellano, Don Tiburcio del Rosario, Sergio Matias, Don Agapito Salceta, Don Flaviano Alonso, Don Mariano Legaspi,
Don Jose Toriano Santiago E. Acosta, Don Aureliano Tolentino, Don Felix Ferrer, Don Felipe Buencamino, Don Fernando Canon Faustino, Don Anastasio Pinzon, Don Timoteo Bernabe, Don Flaviano Rodriguez, Don Gavino Masancay, Don Narciso Mayuga, Don Gregorio Villa, Don Luis Perez Tagli, Don Canuto Celestino, Don Marcos Jackson, Don Martin de los Reyes, Don Ciriaco Bausa, Don Manuel Santos, Don Mariano Toribio, Don Gabriel de los Reyes, Don Hugo Lim, Don Emiliano Lim, Don Faustino Tenorio, Don Lucindo Simon, Don Leon Tanhanki, Don Gregorio Bonifacio, Don Manuel Salafranca, Don Simon Villarreal, Don Calixto Lara, Don Buenaventura Toribio, Don Zacarias Fajardo, Don Florencio Manalo, Don Ramon Gana, Don Marcelino Gomez, Don Valentin Polintan, Don Felix Polintan, Don Evaristo de Malanta, Don Gregorio Alvarez, Don Sabas de Guzman, Don Esteban Francisco, Don Guido Yaptinchay, Don Mariano Rianzares Bautista, Don Francisco Arambulo, Don Antonio Gonzales, Don Juan Antonio Gonzales, Don Juan Arevalo, Don Ramon Delfino, Don Honorio Tionco, Don Francisco del Rosario, Don Epifanio Seguil, Don Ladislao Afabi Jose, Don Sixto Roldan, Don Luis de Lara, Don Marcelo Basa, Don C. Medina, Don Epifanio Crescia, Don Pastor Lopez de Leon, Don Mariano de los Santos, Don Santiago Garcia, Don Andres Tria Tirona, Don Stanislao Tria Tirona, Don Daniel Tria Triona, Don Andres Tria Triona, Don Carlos Tria Triona, Don Sulpicio P. Anthony, Don Epitacio Asuncion, Don Catalino Ramon, Don Juan Bordador, Don Jose del Rosario, Don Preciso Polido, Don Jose Maria del Rosario, Don Ramon Magamco, Don Antonio Calingo, Don Pedro Mendiola, Don Stanislao Castillo, Don Frederic Toma Cruz, Don Teodoro Yatco Diwa, Don Ladislao.
Contribution and relevance. We all might be wondering why we are celebrating the Independence Day every 12th of June. Why is Philippine Independence Day important to celebrate? It's mainly because it commemorates the Filipinos' declaration of their inherent and inalienable right to freedom and independence. Freedom from Spanish colonization or other foreign colonization. Additionally, Emilio Aguinaldo believed that a declaration of independence would inspire people to fight against the Spaniards and at the same time lead other nations to recognize the independence of the Philippines. Also, June 12 had been also observed as the Flag Day in the Philippines since it was the first time the Philippine flag was officially unfurled or iwinagayway. It brings honor and love for those who spend their lives, heroes, seeking to end the abuses of Spain such as mutilation, gruesome death punishment, rape people, women, maltreatment. Lastly, it gave way to the Philippines for self-government, learning to be more educated and civilized. For some of the Philippine Independence Day celebration only becomes relevant because it is the same of the year where they can me and sell Philippine flags. For others, it is a time to wholeheartedly reflect and celebrate the true meaning of the Philippine Declaration of Independence, which is to remember and honor our forefathers and heroes fought hard for liberating the nation from tyranny, oppression, and colonization.